Well, hello there. Welcome back. In this week's video, I had a project I wanted to tackle on my back deck and then just do some straightening up inside. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. I had to make sure you guys were still there before I got started. My name is Jay. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. So it is getting warmer here in Maryland. I think we're technically still in spring, but as with everybody else in the country, it feels like the whole world, it has been raining every other day. So we finally had at least 24 hours of sunshine, and I wanted to get out here and put a clear coat on my deck. This is my back deck, and it is painted. Obviously it's wood, and what I didn't know is that wood decks require more maintenance than concrete. I really didn't think I had to do anything out here, but I noticed the previous week when I had the patio door replaced that it was looking just a little bit worn and some of the wooden boards were a little bit soft. So of course I did some Googling, and a lot of these boards I think are suffering from wood rot, which would also explain all of the ants back here. Now we do have a carpenter ant problem in my neighborhood, allegedly, according to my pest control guy, but I just cannot seem to get rid of the ants under this deck, and ants apparently like to nest in rotting wood. So being the kind of person that I am, this could probably last a few more years, but I wanted to replace some of the boards at the end of the summer. And in the meantime, I just wanted to go ahead and put down this clear coat just to waterproof it and prevent further damage. Now, I only did it on this front part of the deck because that part seemed worse for wear, but I think it just looked like it was worse. But anyway, it was super easy. I just went out to Home Depot and bought a clear coat, and then it pretty much painted on kind of like water. It was a milky liquid, super easy, and now I can tell that it is working because the water kind of puddles on top, which I don't go out back often, but if I did, I would need to get some kind of broom and sweep the water off because it just sits on top of the boards instead of soaking in. But that was one thing I really wanted to get done because I didn't want it to just get worse over the summer. And like I said, it probably could have waited a couple more years at least, but being who I am, I do want to replace some of those boards later this year, but that'll be weeks, if not months from now. So I'm glad that project is done. Of course, when I started, it was a beautiful day, and then as soon as I got to painting, it was so hot and just beating down on my back, but it was an easy project and I'm glad it's done. And now we are moving back into the living room. Of course, I have all of the stuff that would be outside on the deck, like the patio cushions, inside. So I just worked around that, and this room just needed a little bit of tidy because I actually had vacuumed the day before, so it wasn't too bad in here. After the living room, we're moving into the kitchen. Same deal. I really just wanted to clean my countertops, and after doing that coat on the deck, I actually waited 2 days and then I grilled for the first time. So this was at least 2 days later, maybe 3 or 4 days later. I grilled for the first time, and I wanted to just go ahead and have clear countertops in the kitchen. Nothing too intense. It was the evening and I had to work in the morning, so I was just trying to go through the rest of the downstairs, because that's where most of my nonsense ends up, and just kind of make sure everything that needed to go upstairs and elsewhere in the house made its way there. So I haven't been really like deep cleaning lately, and lately that's been the thing that kind of makes me not want to upload as much, because I'm just not doing the deep cleaning. I didn't do any spring cleaning, but I feel like this is way more realistic, just doing kind of regular everyday cleans regularly, as opposed to like pulling out my fridge and getting back there. I know that needs to be done, and it's really great to watch. I really feel motivated when I see other creators do that. I don't have the time, and honestly, when I'm home on the weekend and I have full days where I'm not working, I want to be outside. So every weekend I've been planning one event where I go travel and do something, a festival, a show, just do something fun to get out of the house, which leaves me less uninterrupted time to get like deep cleaning done, but eventually I'll get to it. So from Ross, of all places, I picked up this Barkeeper's Friend foaming cleaner because I have a glass top stove, which you'll see in a minute or so, and I think I've just burned one too many things onto it, so she's not looking good. And I've heard great things about Barkeeper's Friend, and I wanted something that would not scratch the surface, and it's okay. I mean, if you find it for $3.99, $4.99, it's okay. It's foam. I think it did a decent job, but I wasn't wowed by it, and it doesn't have a smell. So if I'm gonna have a product that's like, I mean, at least it could smell good or be organic or something, but it was really just okay.
When we share what we're going through, do I feel like home to you? Look through the looking glass, magnifying what's in the palm of your hand. But everything's moving too fast now. I keep trying to dig my heels into the sand. I get to know you. When we share what we're going through, do I feel like home?
If you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it, and especially if you're returning and you decided to come back, I just cannot express how much I appreciate it. I'm trying something a little different with the music. I usually do kind of lo-fi beats. I like hip hop, K-pop, but I wasn't feeling any of that, so it's more of like a generic pop, just something a little different. And you guys, I have been on one when it comes to handbags. I cannot stop. And I picked up this Coach tote from Dillard's. It was on sale. I want to say it was like 40 or 50% off. Its retail was $395, which absolutely not. And it was on sale for $150. And I wanted it full price, but I was like, no. And I waited for a sale, and by the time it went on sale, I was like, not interested. And then I clicked back on the site weeks later and it said only a few left. And of course I was like, I have to get it. So I really like it. I bought another Coach tote of the same size that was also on sale on Amazon. The sketch print tote, stunning. I love that bag. And I think the retail was $295, not $395. But anyway, I paid $150 for this and I do like it. I've also been watching more handbag content, which I'm sure some of you will find as boring as some people find cleaning videos, but I'm not really into what's in my bags. I think those are a little slow, but I'll watch them to support my favorite creators and kind of get bag inspiration. Like, I love the completed look. Oh, she always shows like the most fabulous, colorful bags. And happy Pride. Speaking of colorful and rainbows, it is June, Pride Month. Happy Pride to everybody out there. And I also like Mo Knows Beauty, and of course, All Things Coco TV, Courtney. I love her videos. She does handbag videos, Dollar Tree videos. I was subscribed to her channel years ago, before she had a different channel, and now she has a new YouTube channel. But yes, I love her content, so I have been definitely consuming a lot of handbag content recently. Here in the living room, once again, I'm just taking everything that needs to go upstairs, and that's kind of it. Every video I say this, I was tired by this point and I just wanted to do a good tidy. Ooh, I got a Blackstone, you guys. So I got this Blackstone set with the 2 spatulas. You know, they always show videos of people like making fried rice hibachi style on their Blackstone. So if you have any recipes, let me know. I'm not really into smash burgers, and I'm not gonna make breakfast outside. So if you have any recipes aside from those, I'd be happy to test it out. Of course, as soon as I put my Blackstone together and got it out, it started raining again. It just seems to never stop. So I haven't been able to season it and cook on it yet, but I do have the tools and the seasoning. Oh, I need to go get a second propane tank, note to self. So I have an old one that was in my garage or my shed. Like, what is a shed if it doesn't come with an old propane tank? So I'm gonna see if I can get that, get a new one, switch it out at Home Depot. It's worth trying, you never know. And this pillow on the couch, I bought it from Costco, and it doesn't have a removable cover. What is the point? I'm not gonna use that thing. You can't remove the cover, so I have to go out and buy a body cover for it. No. So she's going back to the store. And then I was unboxing the rug that you're going to see me put down upstairs in the bedroom. Spoiler alert, I do not like it, but you'll see that in a few minutes here. I just had a really small load of towels that I wanted to fold in here. The sheets and blankets are already clean. And then I wanted to vacuum and get this rug down. And of course I had to pull up the previous rug. And I wanted to replace this rug. I really like it. I just don't want the blue tones in my room anymore. But more importantly, I feel like because this rug has some raised parts to it, the dust was settling in there. And I don't know if the logic really tracks or holds up, because the rug, when it holds the dust, there's less dust in the air. So maybe it's good that it's raised a little bit, but I don't know. I just felt like it was a little bit more difficult to vacuum than just a flat rug, so I wanted to replace it. Although in retrospect, I wish I had just left it down. Now, this part took me so long, not just to get the rug up, that was actually a little bit easier, but to put the rug down, I was sweating. I had to stop filming myself and take off my top. I mean, I had on like a little cami, but I was sweating, dripping sweat down my back. The smarter thing I think to do would have been to move the nightstands out of the room, to move the other rug out of the room, maybe even my dresser, so I had a bigger surface area to maneuver in. But as you can see, I did not do that. It made it the most difficult process I could. And yeah, but as soon as I got the rug out of the box, I was like, oh no. And then when I unpacked it, I was like, oh no. It looks more faded than it did on Amazon, and the size, I think it's smaller than it was advertised, because it should have fit under the bed much better and under my little storage ottoman, and it doesn't. Like, as you can see, I just keep pushing it off and on the rug, trying to get it on, but eventually I did get it. The rug is down and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Oh boy, what is it with me and rugs? I don't like it. I think the print is faded like I thought it was by looking at it through the package. I just don't like it. And it is colorful but neutral. And I used a guide online to see what size rug to buy, and the picture had the rug extending out about here. It's not doing that. So I don't like it. And when it's turned the other way, there's not enough rug on this side because I just need a rug under the bed so that when I step out of bed, my feet are not immediately on the floor. I don't like it. Has anybody else purchased numerous rugs and this is the result? You just can't get it right. So, I don't know. I did a little bit more whining, but that you got the gist of it. I don't like it. It's too small and it's really smooth, almost slippery. So, I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this. But anyway, I didn't even get a final shot of the room. I just went to bed. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.